Imagine standing on a frozen world hundreds of millions of kilometers from Earth. Above you hangs Jupiter, a giant so enormous it dominates the sky. Beneath your feet lies a sheet of ice that may be hiding an entire ocean, an ocean that contains more water than all of Earth's oceans combined. And somewhere in that darkness, there might be life. But if humans ever tried to live here, would we survive? Or would Europa become the most dangerous colony ever attempted? When people talk about humanity's future in space, Mars usually gets all the attention. But hidden deep within the Jupiter system is a moon that many scientists consider one of the most fascinating places in the solar system, Europa. Discovered in 1610 by Galileo, Europa appears at first glance to be a lifeless ball of ice. But beneath that frozen shell, scientists believe there is a vast liquid ocean stretching across the entire moon. That single fact has transformed Europa into one of the most exciting locations in the search for extraterrestrial life. Yet, surviving there would require overcoming challenges unlike anything humans have ever faced. To understand whether humanity could live on Europa, we first need to understand just how alien this world really is. Europa is slightly smaller than Earth's moon. Its surface temperature averages around minus 160 degrees Celsius. That's cold enough to instantly freeze exposed skin and destroy unprotected equipment. But the real mystery lies underneath. Scientists believe Europa's icy crust may be between 15 and 30 kilometers thick. Below that, ice exists an enormous global ocean. Imagine every ocean on Earth combined. Now imagine even more water than that hidden beneath a frozen shell. The source of this liquid water is Jupiter itself. As Europa orbits the giant planet, powerful gravitational forces continuously stretch and squeeze the moon. This process generates internal heat, preventing the ocean from freezing solid. On Earth, deep-sea hydrothermal vents support entire ecosystems without sunlight. If similar vents exist on Europa's ocean floor, they could potentially provide energy for life. And if life can exist there, could humans eventually follow? Unfortunately, finding water is only the beginning. Europa is one of the most hostile environments in the solar system. The greatest danger isn't the cold, it's radiation. Europa sits inside Jupiter's powerful magnetic field. Every day, intense radiation bombards the moon's surface. An unprotected astronaut standing outside would receive a lethal dose in a matter of hours. Imagine living beside a constantly active nuclear reactor. That's the challenge Europa presents. Any human settlement would need massive protection. One solution could be building habitats beneath the ice itself. Just a few meters of ice could block much of the deadly radiation. In a strange twist, the very thing that makes Europa difficult to explore might also protect future colonists. But radiation isn't the only problem. Europa receives only about 4% of the sunlight Earth gets. Solar power would become far less effective. Food production would require artificial lighting. Temperatures would remain brutally cold. Every breath of air, every drop of water, and every watt of electricity would need to be carefully managed. So if Europa is so dangerous, why even consider living there? Because it offers something incredibly valuable. Water. Water can be used for drinking. It can be split into hydrogen and oxygen for fuel and breathable air. And it could support agriculture inside controlled habitats. Future explorers might drill through the ice and access Europa's hidden ocean. Underground bases could be constructed beneath protective layers of ice. Robotic systems would handle dangerous surface operations while humans remained sheltered below. Energy might come from compact nuclear reactors. Artificial ecosystems could recycle water, air, and waste in closed-loop systems. In many ways, a European colony would resemble a giant self-contained submarine buried beneath ice. Life would be challenging. Colonists might rarely see the sky. Most of their lives would be spent inside enclosed habitats. Yet humanity has already survived in extreme environments on Earth. Researchers spend months in Antarctica. Astronauts live aboard space stations. With enough technological advancement, surviving on Europa may not be impossible. The bigger question is whether people would want to stay. But there's an even bigger reason Europa fascinates scientists. What if we aren't the first living creatures there? Deep beneath the ice, hidden from sunlight for billions of years, an entirely separate ecosystem could already exist. Think about that for a moment. On Earth, every living thing shares a common ancestry. But if life evolved independently on Europa, it would represent a second origin of life in the universe. One discovery could completely transform humanity's understanding of biology. We might learn that life isn't rare, it might be common. The first humans arriving on Europa may not simply be colonists. They could become ambassadors meeting an entirely different branch of life. And that possibility changes everything. So, could humans survive on Europa? The answer is surprisingly complicated. On the surface, probably not for long. The radiation, cold, and isolation make Europa one of the most dangerous places humans could ever visit. But beneath the ice, protected from Jupiter's deadly radiation, survival may eventually become possible. Future colonies could harvest water, generate oxygen, and build entire communities hidden within the frozen crust. It would be difficult. It would be expensive, and it would require technology far beyond what we have today. Yet Europa offers something few worlds can: the possibility of discovering life beyond Earth. One day, humanity may descend through kilometers of ice into a dark ocean untouched for billions of years. And when that moment arrives, the greatest discovery may not be whether humans can survive on Europa. It may be realizing that we were never alone there to begin with.